Hey, if you like rat rods, hot rods, any rods, or real cool classic cars, you got the right place. Hey, today I'm just north of Trinity, old friend's house, Jimmy Cochran. I called him a little earlier today and asked him could he come by and look at some of his cars, and there's one truck that I kind of liked it pretty good, and I wanted to talk to him about it. So he's here somewhere. I'm gonna turn this around and let's go see if we can find him. So here we go, we're looking for Jimmy. He's around here somewhere. By the way, Jimmy has got a bunch of cars, old cars. He's a rust lover now, I'm telling you. He loves that rust. He's got cars he's working on pretty often. I stop by a lot just to see it. He takes old cars and gets them and starts working on them, and sometimes he finishes, sometimes they just sit and wait for another person to come by and work on them. Anyway, he's around here. Jimbo! This is his shop. Jimmy, I hope you don't mind. We're taking pictures of your shop here. Well, I don't see him around here. Looking for an old 50 model truck. Well, Jimmy! Jimbo! I don't know where he's at. Well, he's here somewhere. Oh, there's his truck. Let's, maybe he's out here. Jimbo! He's a shade tree here. Got this truck parked under this shade tree. He's out here. Oh, looks like he might be under there working on it. Let's see. Jimbo! Jimmy! By the way, this is his old truck. You're talking about a cool old truck. What are you doing? Man, you're talking about a cool old truck. He has got this truck shined up. Just a cool old truck. Jimmy, hey! Jimmy, what are you doing down there? Hey! Hey! I'm changing oil or something. Jimmy, I come over here. I told you I was on my way. Jimmy, hey, get out from under that truck. Hey. Well, he's around here somewhere. There he is. Man, it's good to see you, Jimmy. Hey, how you doing?
How's everything doing?
I'm good, man. Come right over here and let's talk about your truck.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to talk about the other day.
Well, now that was a good deal. Now I like that. I think that's kind of what you do when you go to some car shows.
Yeah, that's the way we show it off.
Man, that's funny. I know these viewers are sure like that. Tell me a little bit about your truck.
Okay, it's a 49 like I am.
Stay here with me. These people want to see you. Yeah, there you go.
It's a 49 like I am. I like the 49 stuff, like pre-war, wartime, post-war, older vehicles. And this particular truck was pulled out of the weeds up here in town, and really it was nothing but yard art when it started, and went to work on it, and now I've run it down the road 50, 60 miles an hour under its old original V8, flathead V8 power.
You know, when we see a lot of these trucks, and a lot of these trucks just come up out of the woods and swamps, and people start working on them, and sometimes they'll make rat rods, they'll bring them back to original, but you've done a really cool job. This truck's a lot of fun to drive.
It is. I have a lot of fun with it.
You know, when we see people around town, we see them at the shows, and even when we take it off to rallies, people always come look at it because it's so unusual.
Right.
You know,
right.
This part of the segment on this is the people behind the cars, and that's what we're doing. At Rat Nation, what we want to do is to let people know kind of what you did and how you did it.
Yeah.
And it gets people for you to share your story to inspire other people
Gotcha.
to get out and build these things.
Exactly.
Have a good time. It's a good hobby, right?
Yeah, I tell you what, I worked 40 years in the used car business and never had so much fun as I'm having now with these old cars. That's all I'm fooling with now is old cars.
And for you, it's a family thing, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Your son?
Yeah.
Son's
I
in it?
I think you had him on here.
I did. He's got some cool cars,
yeah.
and you know,
yeah.
I enjoy him too. But let's talk about your car. Let's take
right.
what I'm going to do is turn this camera around, and I'm going to follow Jimmy around, and he's going to take us and show us a little bit about his car.
All right, Jim. Here we go. Come on.
All right, tell me one thing about the truck here. So it was pretty much the way it looks right now when you got it, right?
Yes, it was. Actually, it was a rust bucket, and that's the reason I named it Rust Bucket. It's eat up with rust. That's what these strips are on there for, is they're Band-Aids. They're covering rust. They look like trim, but actually they're Band-Aids. And took the running boards off because they were too rotted to use, and was going to replace them, but I liked the bad boy look that it had when I took them off. Got this old original flathead V8 running again under its own original power without busting it down, just doing stuff on the top end, on the top side.
Well, how long did you say this thing sit, or do you estimate?
I was told close to 40 years.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, a friend of mine bought it actually to start with, and then I bought it from him after he'd got the motor running, put the new radiator on and everything. And then brought it in here and really went to work on it, put new brakes and stuff on it. And look at this, I'm kind of proud of this this air cleaner I made. That's made out of an original oil bath cleaner. It's got a paper element in it with a 30s Ford V8 hubcap on there.
Man, that's nice.
And I was so proud of that and the flathead. I wanted to show them off, so I thought about leaving the hood off. If you do anything with, you know, with the truck when it's your truck and it's rat rod or whatever. But it didn't look too good, but that old aluminum radiator sticking up there shining, so I made a bonnet for it.
I like that.
And it's my own original idea, just something to cover that up with.
Hey, that's why they call them rat rods.
Exactly.
You do what you want to and make it look and have your own.
Had the seat recovered, and we've put, well, this is a light switch out of a Chevrolet truck out here. This button here, this horn button, is the starter button out of a 36 Studebaker car. The door, the knob on the gear shift is a door knob. So just kind of use what I have laying around here. And right here is my dummy box. This is where old dummy rides when we go to the car show. Put a box back here for him to ride in.
Okay.
This corrugated tin was rusty and matched up with the truck real good. So I put that in there over the plywood floor. And on the back end, I like it the way it looked without the bumpers on it, so I left the bumpers off both ends of it. But these tail lights that you see here came off of my police car out there. I'll turn those on for you. And they were turned horizontal in the car, and I turned them up vertical and set them into the fenders. I thought that gave it a cool look.
You know, one thing we talked about when you're making these old trucks, you make them your own, you go out and find what you like.
Yeah.
Rallies, shows.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you can,
Yeah.
put them together and just make it your own.
That's it. Pick up parts at the swap meets and so forth.
You know, where'd you get the idea of this dummy?
You know, I really don't know how I come
It
up
kind of
with
looks
that.
like you.
It does. That's a pair of old boots, pair of old jeans. And I've faked out several people over here with it. They'd come out, I'd have it set up, and they really thought it was me under there.
That's a unique idea. Got the old oil can sitting there, and I've seen it out at some of the places that you've taken it. Boy, it's a magnet.
All of those are vintage. You can't get this oil anymore. It's old oil, and most of your viewers, if they're not car people, have never seen one of these. And it just looks old school.
Jimmy, let me ask you a couple of questions about this kind of stuff. I know you've been building rods for a long time, and I know some people that watch our shows and our videos, they've never had a rod. They've never built a rod. They don't know much about it, and they're intrigued, and I get many questions on people, how do I get started? Well, let's elaborate a little bit how, not you've been doing this most of your life, but if you were somebody getting started, where would you look?
Oh gosh, swap meets is a good place to go. Car shows, you get some ideas. There's a lot of good ones around, especially coming up here real soon in the fall. We have a lot of car shows here, there, and everywhere. But I was fortunate enough to be raised by a mechanic, so I was around cars and trucks.
You don't necessarily have to be a mechanic to do this.
You don't. Matter of fact, I should have picked up on a lot more than I did, but I didn't practice it through the years, so now I have to depend on somebody else knows what they're doing.
You know, I really find your truck very interesting, and it's one of those kind of trucks that I would say that it's a lot of fun to drive.
Yeah.
You know, you can take it anywhere, take it to town. I know you do that. You take it to town. I see you in it sometimes, and you get to a place sometimes where people just stand around looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's what makes it fun. And we talked about in other segments of this, of the people behind the cars. It don't cost $30,000, $40,000 to pick one of these up.
Yeah.
Start messing with them and tinkering with them, and it's a hobby, and then it gets to be fun. It gets to be
You
fun.
can start with something like this for $500.
That's what I'm talking about, you know, and people need to know that. So, and you know, it's easy to get help.
Yeah, and the thing about it, you know, you want to spend on it, but you can spend on it as you go.
That's right.
And you don't have to do it all in one day, and just kind of do it along.
All right, Jimmy. Hey, I appreciate you being with us. This is Rat Nation. Jimmy's here today, and I really appreciate him. If you see him out at car shows or rallies, go up and talk to him. He's interesting, knows a lot about cars. He loves to talk. If you see him, he's probably out talking to somebody else that has a rat rod. If you like rat rods, hot rods, unusuals, or if you just like old cars, you're at the right place. Jimmy, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
And,
enjoyed it.
And I'd love to see you out again, buddy.
Hey, you'll see me. We'll be going together.
All right. Take care. See y'all.